Good day and welcome to the Lifestyle League. And today, our first guest, in fact, is none other than Ronnie Mckenzie. Sawubona bhuti dumela, okay?
Goedankie ka vir hoe gaan dit?
Ek kan Afrikaans praat, hè? Jy weet ek kan Afrikaans praat, hè? How are you, my brother?
Better than you.
Number one.
Good.
You know, we were arguing with the team and trying to find out who would make a good impression as the first guest of this show. And I came up with your name, and everybody was saying, who's Ronnie Mckenzie? So I'm now posing the question to you. Who's Ronnie Mckenzie?
This is Ronnie Mckenzie. That's the best you can get. I'm not too sure in what sense. Ronnie Mckenzie controversial, Ronnie Mckenzie this, Ronnie Mckenzie that, but this is Ronnie Mckenzie. I'm not too certain in what form or in what.
Okay.
A farmer. And many other things that one would be called a socialite and all sorts of names. Comes with whatever we hear all the time.
Okay. I've known, the first time I knew about Ronnie was a politician. Ronnie, ANC, and but as I got to know him and understood him better, I discovered a lot of things about Ronnie. Ronnie is from Lesotho. Ronnie comes to South Africa. Ronnie is part of the ANC. How's that? How does that happen?
Well, I can tell you one thing, that people have got opinions all the time. It just depends on how well you know somebody. And depending also on, there's always smear campaigns about people. You've been smeared a lot about various types of things yourself. You'll always be hearing about who comes from, when people want to go for you, they say, you are this, you are that. Ronnie comes from Lesotho, Ronnie is a politician, Ronnie is a farmer, Ronnie is a socialite, Ronnie is a crook, Ronnie is a thief, Ronnie is this. If you can go upon people.
But are you from Lesotho?
Maybe I eat with both sides of my mouth. From Lesotho, from South Africa. My mother is a Mosotho from Lesotho. My father is from here, Kliptown, Eldorado Park. So.
Yeah, because you brought more Afrikaans. That's why I keep on asking about Lesotho, because there's no Afrikaans in Lesotho.
Definitely. So we just let such type of things just be wherever. Lesotho accepts me as a citizen. South Africa accepts me as a citizen. Maybe at the end of the day, I just need to just decide where do I fall. But Lesotho for me is home. South Africa for me is home. So wherever I just feel comfortable is home.
Where did you grow up?
Eldorado Park.
Okay.
Lesotho. So my parents just kept taking me like playing footsie tennis. This side 1 year, 2 years that side, back this side, so forth. So.
And you are a Mckenzie, a Mosotho Mckenzie.
Yeah, if there's something like that, yes.
And are you related to Gayton Mckenzie?
Well, maybe he can answer that. I can put it that way. He's my big brother. Maybe he can put it and say, okay, that's my lighty, or no, that's not my lighty. It's Bokofana, or something of that nature.
And then can you tell us about your childhood up to where you are now?
Hey, very colorful childhood, to be honest with you. Very, very colorful. Very interesting. When I just look back and I just say, you know what, it could be the best movie if I've got to actually put it out there or write about my childhood. It's very mixed in a sense that, started school in Eldos. Protea. We first lived in Protea South, just below Shawela.
Protea?
Yeah, Protea South.
How old are you?
By the way, tomorrow will be my big day, which will put me just almost half a century.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, so from Protea and then?
From Protea, 1986, proclamations that it's no more colored soul area. Moved to Eldorado Park. Whilst in Eldorado Park, my parents decided take me to Lesotho, go to Lesotho, started, I think, one of the best schools in Lesotho called English Medium, the River English Medium. Left Lesotho, came back to Eldorado Park, went to Holt Park Primary School, left Holt Park Primary School, Did my high school in Lesotho, Form 1 until Form 5. Left there, went to tertiary in Tabanchu. Left Tabanchu, went to tertiary in Johannesburg Tech. Left that, started being...
Oh, so you are educated?
Others will say maybe I'm not. So
Oh.
I don't know. Something along those lines. I don't know what's education, but...
But you spoke about what?
Johannesburg Tech.
Yeah. What were you studying there?
Diesel mechanics.
Oh.
That's something I love very much. And it's something that, when I think about it, that one could have just been a Greece boy today or something along those lines, but took a different route altogether. The influence of Eldos before so-called Majimbos.
So you're talking about Eldos, you're talking about cars, you're talking about these things, studying. Have you ever stolen a car? That laugh.
Very good question. Maybe an accomplice too.
Okay, so you've been involved in...
It was part of the game. If you didn't do that, if you were not associated there, certain things should be missing in life, especially when it comes to the other side of lifestyle. I see it's all about lifestyle and how one actually gets by.
Wow, interesting stuff, eh? I never thought you were even into cars and stuff like that. It's very strange. And then how did you end up with the ANC?
Well, having to leave Eldos now, one venturing into what life is all about. Most times you find our people are just fixated. The old system actually kept people, Soweto, you'll just be there, Soweto, Eldos just there. Next thing comes, it's your Southgate. The only thing you know is Eldos Southgate. But I decided, you know what, since I've got exposure.
But I mean, Eldos and Soweto are more or less one thing. I mean, we are just divided by that thin border. You know the clap-down border?
Yeah, the clap-down border, that's
yes.
Exactly.
I mean, Pimville is like Eldos.
Yeah, that's our golf course.
Yes.
It's the suburb of Soweto.
So which extension from Eldos are you?
A place that's called Mahala Park.
Okay.
Extension 9, just next to Extension 9. And one just decided to just leave, take your chances, come to suburbs, realize what suburban life is all about. Lived in Sandton, various places, left Sandton, Midrand. This has been my home for the longest. And while in Midrand, I'd not been involved in politics before, but always had something to share. Similarly, I'm going back to your question about politics and being in Midrand, realizing, there's so much that needs to be done in Midrand. One time I'm driving, there's this ANC Youth League guys at traffic lights, T-shirts. I decided to stop and just find out more. And came across comrades, had an interest, invited me to a branch, decided to attend meetings to understand what this is all about because tertiary I was kind of involved.
Which year is this?
This is early 2000.
Okay.
So realizing at tertiary, I had an understanding of what the SRCs were all about. And then just decided, let me just get myself involved in the ANC Youth League here.
So you don't grow up in politics, but you work yourself up. And suddenly you are in the top, whatever they call them.
I'm not anywhere up in the top of anything.
No, but at that point, didn't you get elected to be...
Yeah, I was part of the BEC of the ANC Youth League under the leadership of fellow comrade then, Duda Lebelo. And we used to be very, very radical at that point in time as the ANC Youth League. At the time when I joined, Comrade Malusiki Gaba was just leaving,
His presidency.
His presidency. Then came Comrade Fikile Mbalula. His leadership was quite very strong. I liked the way he could air things out. And then we were then led to, Juju, Comrade Juju, which then we, as Midrand, we were the most progressive branch, I could say.
I remember we even got an award.
Definitely. So that's how I got myself involved. But now, since I had a background of always believing in going for whatever I believe in, and realizing here I'm just serving with a whole lot of people that are just fixated in politics, nothing else and all. And the branch managed to realize that can make quite good use of me in terms of fundraising, in terms of a whole number of things. And that's how we managed to actually strive and become one of the best branches, managed to summon, if I've got to put it that way, ministers, high-ranking ANC leaders to come to the branch, give accountability, explain us on a number of things. The branch became very attractive. Many came to the branch. Even others from other branches started associating themselves with our branch. And that's how. And
then I want to ask you a question, because when you get into politics, you start from a branch level, they'll tell you about branch to region, from region to, all those things. And then how do you, at some point, people dream of just following that route till they achieve what they want to achieve. How did you get to a point where you started questioning things? Because how you are known now, you are known as the guy that is not afraid of politicians. You have a WhatsApp group. It's one of the most popular WhatsApp groups in terms of politics. And it's the one that has been in the news more than any other political groups. People are trying to be like Open Politics, but Open Politics is Open Politics. So how do you get to a point where you start questioning your leaders with the bravery that you have? Because I've never seen somebody do that. How do you get to that point? Because we are channeled to think in a certain way when we love a certain political movement.
I've always believed in free society. I always believe in discipline. I always believe in accountability. And I got to learn from a Greek friend of mine some years back that until you release oil of Olay in the toilet, then I can go down on a knee for you. But as long as we all do the same, you're just human like me. And I've got all right to ask you or speak to you. We tend to be channeled in a sense of a title, make somebody something superhuman, of which to me such doesn't apply. I always believe in accountability. If I've elected you or nominated you to lead me, lead me. But if you're failing to lead me, I'll question you. There's no doubt about that. And it's not about bravery. I think it's about mindset over and above everything.
So you're saying if most of us as citizens of any other country, if we would behave like you, things would be better, according to you?
Well, most definitely. Not necessarily behave like me, but have that ability to holding people accountable. There's no point in actually saying, Gaffer here is my leader, and next minute you're not leading. You are more about yourself than actually the people. And if, as citizens, we can find it to hold people accountable. Our taxes, people are evading tax, people are dodging tax, people are doing all sorts of things with tax that they do not want to contribute to the fiscus because of the levels of corruption. So they rather just take their monies and do something else than actually seeing to that they pay their taxes properly, because monies don't get channeled to where they're supposed to go.
But were you not worried about losing some of the benefits that you had acquired by being close to proximity? Because I'm sure you lost a lot of friends, and you're in Gauteng, there's those powerful people that I've seen you challenge in the group. And how do you get to that point where you just say, stuff it, I'm going to ask them these questions? Because let's be honest, most of us are afraid.
Well, it's never personal. To be honest, those that do take it.
And talking about that, you're right, because I've noticed most of them don't leave the group. Others do once in a while, but you always find a way of bringing them back to the group. But how do you do that? Because I've seen groups, I've been included in groups, and I've left so many groups, and I said, Open Politics is the only group, where I see you guys telling Mom Helen Zille where to get off, but she doesn't leave the group. I've seen you tell premiers, ministers, how do you do it? How do they listen to you? And it's not like they're listening to you, but how do they tolerate you?
If we've got to speak about Open Politics, for instance, Open Politics is a very interesting platform because it's not a choir. It's a platform that actually has, leaders. It's a platform that has got followers. It's a platform that has got men of the cloth. From your poorest to your richest in the Republic of South Africa, you'd find on Open Politics. Your ministers, your opposition parties, whether be it the Democratic Alliance, the Patriotic Alliance, Rise Mzansi, any other political organization, even your priests, your pastors.
Talking about that, sorry to interrupt you, Pastor. At some point, Mboro wanted to sue you.
Well, I've been sued before through Open Politics, issues that arise there as if I'm the one that's bringing them up.
Remember, if you're owning a WhatsApp group, they say you are responsible for everything that happens there.
Imagine.
Is that why you ended up stopping other people from being admins and you're the sole admin now?
There's something other that you need to learn or need to understand. You don't play with power. When you're in a position of power, make use of power. There's no way that I would find myself having another admin of Open Politics.
Would you say Noli Pari then when you had too many admins? I mean, at some point, you even asked to go and leave, and I think Panyaza was
No.
an admin.
No.
What happened then?
That never happened. I think maybe you just caught...
I've been there since 2014. How old is Open Politics? I've been there ever since. I know there were too many admins.
No. If you can go looking at it properly.
Remember, I fought with you, I left, and when I came back, you were the only powerful guy now.
Powerful guy.
Yes,
I don't play with power. Realize
then.
Where I get myself into a position of power, I'll make use of it to the highest degree. That's just what I believe in and how things should be. There's no way you can have a position and say you're a CEO and you're unable to make decisions.
Okay, let's go back to the Mboro issue. Then what happened?
No, then you got to understand. I gave him a call on the side and I said, you know what? I'll agitate debate. Whether you like it or not, I'll agitate debate. Let us be debating how people regard you, how they see you and whatnot. Take it in. As a leader, in Sutu they say, I don't know if you understand what that means. It means that you just need to take on anything that comes your way. People on Open Politics, most of them are leaders in their own right, wherever they are. So they need to actually be able to accept critics.
So there we are all equal, according to you?
Yes, we are all equal. There's no one,
Apart from the fact that you know power, you are.
Yes,
okay.
Definitely in that sense.
So how many people tried to sue you?
There's areas you would know.
Yeah, because
you would know, you would know. But by now, I think most people have realized if you understand what liberation is, people are liberated on Open Politics. They've grown thick-skinned. There were those that would never talk to me because of I did this. Just this very week, somebody very close to me said to me that I went for them, their reputation and all. And I just wondered, what reputation are you talking about? Are you worried about people's opinion, about who you are, how you did things and blah? That's you. You need to take whatever comes.
You know what's the most funniest thing about Open Politics? You talk a lot of rubbish. People take that rubbish. But there's one thing I've noticed. Even those that you have rubbished, they still call you president.
I don't know.
Is that why you say you don't play with power? You understand?
The presidency part probably is from, I will be president of the Republic of South Africa. That one, rest assured.
Yeah, I remember you said
that. One, rest assured. I will lead this country. In one way or the other, I will lead this.
So can I also be like you and say rubbish? That's not going to happen.
Well, it's how you see things. I believe there's nothing impossible under the sun, to be honest with you. There's nothing impossible under the sun. I was just looking recently on...
I can't believe you. I mean, if you look at where we come from in that group and you look at how most of the people have progressed, I mean, look at Gaten, for an example.
Exactly. He can
I mean,
be one
who
of the
thought,
examples. Yes.
you used to dictate to people, to say, hey, we are going there this week, we are going there. You still do it, but...
And funny enough, how the very open politics started. It was right here in Midrand where one would actually ask families to come out on weekends, let's clean the streets, let's do all the type of things. A Midrand citizens group is there, which you also do know about. And
yes, because I remember on weekends we would be called to come clean the streets.
And all that. Yes, being active citizens, it's very important. And from there, started realizing people are busy speaking politics on a group that is mainly for, activism outside, doing whatnot. Then one just decided to say, let's have open politics. Invite everybody. That's how open politics actually started. And from open politics, I would say to you, it's one of the things that I believe a person like the late former president, the founding father of this democracy of ours, Nelson Mandela, would appreciate, where he wanted a society that's able to talk. We have our political difference, we have our different views, but we should be able to tolerate each other. On open politics, people have managed to tolerate each other. Lots of people are able to be doing business together today. There's lots of transactions that happen through open politics.
Have you been in a situation where you find politicians calling you on the side saying, please just tone down on me?
Most cases, they would actually send somebody to talk to me. In most cases.
Yeah.
Yes. In most cases, they do send so-and-so to talk to me, or they know I didn't like this type of a thing. He can't say that. But then I'll call the politician out and I'll say, you know what, please don't take that personal. These are views on the ground.
But when you talk a lot of rubbish, I don't think you even understand. I mean, okay, others would say a lot of truth, but it's truth mixed with...
Okay, point out rubbish such as, for instance, point out such as what?
No, because then I'm going to sound like I'm being sent by someone.
No, if they send you, it's still fine. If you allow yourself to be a messenger, then them come to you direct.
In public.
No, I mean, it's for us to talk. Let's speak. Let's be able to speak. Don't say, you know what, your foot is on top of mine. Tell me you're tramping me. Be direct.
Okay, who are the politicians that got enough of you and had to leave? I know the names, but I'm sure there are those notable ones that you'd love to see back.
Not really.
So it's like, if you go, go.
If you go. The door is wide open. Just 3 clicks and you're out of the group.
No, the thing is, I normally see when they come back, there's like a mini celebration by everyone to say, welcome back, but know that here...
No, there'll be those that get sent to saying, please get him to just put me back in.
Yeah.
And they have too much, egos and pride that they can't call or they bring me back. Open politics opens their eyes. They get to realize a lot of things. And if you can look at most of the things that get implemented, you'll realize there are discussions that have been happening on open politics.
Which is what I was saying to you off air, that it's amazing how powerful open politics is, but, we're not taking advantage of that platform because I've seen things change just based on that platform. But anyway, one day we'll get to that topic. You then start being the person that you are, and then how jiggy. I've seen you have a lot of businesses in Midrand, how suddenly you are now a farmer. What inspired you to go into farming?
While I was in the youth league, I don't believe in sloganeering. We used to speak about ownership of the means of production. For me, I took it to heart. Owning the means of production is very important. Farming is part of ownership of the means of production. Mining, owning the means of production. Being able to be self-sustainable. Being able to know that if I'm here in my yard, I've got chickens, I've got pigs, I've got this, I've got that, I'm able to sustain myself. I'm able to, get some spinach or get some and able to feed myself and all the time be running to, as darkies, there's this consumerism mindset. You have money now, you just want to buy. You never think of how do you get this to actually benefit you. We need to get to a point where our monies are able to work for us, unlike keep on working for money. So farming for me, I love it with a passion. And it's unfortunate that the type of leaders we have, there's something not okay.
You see, now you're going back to that open politics, man.
That is,
yeah, say it. What's wrong with them?
like that
Just say it. What's wrong with them?
It's rubbish. Then so be it. To be honest with you, it's we need to have an understanding of where we are going. You know, I'm liking the current leadership that is coming, that just got into power in the United States, for instance. Closing taps. As Africans, we just all the time, you know, cap in hand, forever needing, whilst we are, you know, sitting on wealth. You know, Africa is so rich with everything. The only thing that Africa is not rich at, brains.
So would you
all
say,
the education.
Would you say since you've moved into farming, you are happy with how things are going?
Not at all. I am not. Not at all.
What's the problem?
We could do better by far. By far. By far. We just do not have the proper leadership. That's the problem. We do not have leaders in this country. Not at all.
So, in short, you are not doing well in farming. You could be doing much better.
By far.
What would you say is a hindrance? Is it the leadership? Is it financial muscle? What's not working out?
We need to take note. Farming is like a deep black hole. It needs serious resources. Resources are not channeled in the proper way to enable, in particular, your black farmers to becoming commercial.
Why would a government knowingly not help farmers when we know that without food, there's no nation?
That's why I say the lack of leadership, the inability to think. The inability to think. You have all the education, you can have them all there with degrees, PhDs and all that, but thinking ability is not.
And would you say now that the minister is a white person, yes, and they've been doing farming for a very long time, would you say that's going to benefit farmers more, or would you say that black farmers are still going to be discriminated against?
It's not necessarily a discrimination issue. Steenhuisen will actually ensure that the commercial farmers thrive even better. He'll be fighting right now so hard for the AGUA issue and all that, because most of those that benefit from AGUA are the very commercial white farmers. And I wouldn't like to racialize the matter. However, if you're a Tsonga person, you'll fight for Tsongas. If your head is screwed on properly. If you're Mosotho, you'll fight for Basotho. If you're a Khaled, you'll fight for Khaled, so on and so forth. Steenhuisen will fight for his Afrikaners, whichever way that it could be looked at. However, we've had many leaders, black leaders, ministers that have come and gone. But if you go looking at the industry, you would not find black commercial farmers in a true sense of commercial, where a farmer that is a black commercial farmer, you'll be able to find their product in every retail store, from Danin right down to the...
Would you say it's because you guys are not united? Would you say that's the reason you created an organization for farmers? And does your organization only cater for blacks only?
No. It's not necessarily also about the unity part. It's about many aspects that come into play.
What's the name, by the way? Farmers United of South Africa. Okay.
So we find challenges, for instance, so-called access to markets. Our leaders have been working in silos, you know, which was so, you know, if you go looking at a person like Minister Steenhuisen right now, he'll make sure that he'll be able to sit down with correctional services, able to sit down with education, able to sit down with health, to say, how does these farmers be able to plug in? Remember, government is the biggest buyer of anything, government. So there needs to be a deliberate move where black farmers will be said, you do not need to be looking for market. As government, we are the market. Farm. What you know is farming. Now a black farmer farms, and next minute after farming, worried about the crop there, about the livestock there, where am I going to be selling this to? starting now to being a marketer, running around up and down, which in that is the failure part.
You spoke about discrimination, and you said, you wouldn't call anything discrimination. Why then would you differentiate a black farmer from a white farmer? Is it not supposed to just be about the capability one has?
Mm-hmm. Look, we've got many.
Why must it be about black farmers, if I may ask?
Look, we're speaking about transformation, right? Over and above everything, to actually manage to reach a certain point where... So
we need transformation even when we talk about food. People want to eat tomorrow.
Yes, people want to eat.
Yeah, food like tomorrow. And you're telling me about transformation.
Yeah, and next minute you want to take white farms from white people. What are you going to do when you're not resourced? You're going to go and take 100 hectares. You can hardly even manage your little plot at home to just have even a tomato or something. You can hardly manage that. So that's where the resources issue comes in. That's where the leadership part comes in. That's where now you've got that 100 hectares, you are able to actually cultivate that 100 hectares.
Do you have to take away the farm, by the way?
To take away from?
From whoever you want to take it away from.
Take it for what?
No. You said if blacks are not resourced, but they want to take away farms. My question is, why do you even think about that?
We're speaking, besides farms, we're speaking about land-related issues.
Yes.
If Van Schalve...
In fact, you have raised such issues about land reform and, the corruption and everything. Yeah.
Look, many farms had been taken, had been bought or taken or whatever from the very commercial white farmer and given to a fellow darkie and whatnot. Go to those farms out there today. Zero is happening. What we know, like I said earlier on, we've got this consumerism mindset. You get a farm, it's just specials, weekends, parties, and all that. That's a reality. Whether we want to accept it or not, it's a reality. Most of our black farmers that have bought farms, they're hardly on their farms. They're living in our Midrand, in your Sentons, and what? They think that farming is by remote. You can never farm by remote. Never.
Is that why you left Midrand and go there?
And said, let me be hands-on and understand what the industry is all about.
And what are the challenges? Because honestly speaking, we all love farming and we all dream about farming, but we're thinking about farming but still living in Sandton. What you're saying is a fact.
Yeah. And
we see money, we don't see...
Exactly. We don't want to work. Yeah. We want overnight riches.
People don't understand that business is about solving problems as well. Solving problems. Yes. There's a problem, people need to eat, you go into farming to help alleviate that problem. Yes.
Contribute towards the economy.
But they think business is about profit.
That's the thing. And you know what? Farming is not a child's play. It's not a child's play. You don't just, you get every year, every day, every what. Hey, I just bought a farm. I want to farm. Hey, what can I plant?
I went to a farm the other day and you were showing me a tractor and saying, how much was it? The tractor that you were excited about.
Exactly.
And to me, it looked like, this thing is old. Why is this guy raving about this thing?
Exactly. But there's that one favorite one I showed you.
Yes.
My little 135, which I love very much. It's a donkey. That thing just works and works and works. That one is the one I think I was showing you that time. But now we need to have an understanding in terms of where do we want to go to? What goals have we set? Those are very important things. How deliberate are we to achieving those goals? How deliberate are we? Like in any other thing, if you want to achieve, you need to put in the effort. You can't just, there's many darkies going out there and buying farms.
And I wanted to.
Yeah, and nothing
I have a small one.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Do your little thing, do your trials and error. I believe in trial and error. I don't believe so much in so-called, the young people will call it R&D, research and development. I believe in burning your fingers and understanding that thing is hot, you don't touch. Now, desktop research and those things hardly, and the sad reality is the lack of skill we have. It's so fundamental.
Do you see yourselves winning the battle? And I'm saying yourselves referring to black farmers.
Oh, yes.
How so?
Provided the leadership changes.
Remember, you mentioned that if the minister is white, he'll look after white interests. So how do you then succeed?
Look, success of all is what you push, how you get things done, what you're pushing, what you seek to achieve. If we've got a president that he's a farmer himself, the current president that we have, but if he could be deliberate in saying agriculture should be the backbone of this country and invest a lot in agriculture, and he sees to that the minister Enoch actually pours more money into agriculture, into uplifting black farmers to be resourced. Most times, the way it is done actually kills our black farmers. You come into farming as Arthur, you've got a farm, they've given you a farm, they give you a tractor. After giving you a tractor, they give you implements or whatever the case can be. But you can hardly even feed yourself. You don't even have money to actually fuel that tractor. You don't even have money to pay staff. They put the cart before the horse.
Wouldn't you say, though, it's because we are no more even studying agriculture at schools?
Exactly.
Because when we grew up, there was agriculture.
And
there was
again,
all
you
those
take
things.
farmers as poor people.
But like now, you suddenly just want to own a farm, but you don't even know how to plant a seed.
You can only farm. Coffee like an farm. Here an farm. As if it's something, wow. You know, a lack of knowledge. One other thing that kills us. Lack of knowledge. We need to actually capacitate our people in knowledge. Those are part of other things that kills us. You know, first time being on a farm, or their friends coming, it's only a 21 hectare. Get over there. Like it must be expensive. Now they see zebras there, they see impalas there, they see this. And because we lack knowledge of understanding these things, you see a 21 hectare, you're thinking, 30 million. And the place is only, less than 3 million. You see a zebra, you think a zebra maybe is 100,000. A zebra's price is about 3,000 rands. You see impala. Because we had never been exposed to such, we need to educate our people in a different way than always thinking, I lot a degree, I lot a. Then you come across those people, hey, Ronnie Mckenzie, when I got a certificate, what the bloody hell does a certificate do? Come on, I get so mad coming into people's offices, put certificates all over the show, but they don't know jack about life.
No, we always talk about that. It's a very sad situation where people are just challenged, channeled into thinking that having that thing in your office means something, which is sad. And we are not saying people shouldn't be educated, by the way, but
Definitely. The type of education we actually give is very important. Most times, the type of Western education, of twanging, we think, I can lekker for an English praat and whatnot. That's not the case. With all your English, but unable to produce anything. Not creative, not innovative, can't produce anything, but good English.
What would you say are the successes of FUSA?
The ability to actually have most of our farmers challenging the so-called status quo. The ability to actually getting things done, which are done quite a bit different, although I've made a lot of enemies before whilst the organization was starting, mainly in government, because they've not been used to being challenged on matters. They know, repetition. Every year, budget will be R1 billion. We're going to go out there, give the farmers seedlings, give the farmers seeds, fertilizer, and what. Come back again the following year, and nothing ever changing.
And the food prices keep going high.
Yeah. And for what? For what?
What's the cost of food prices going high? Because since COVID, food prices are just skyrocketing. What does your research say?
According to my understanding and according to my research, it goes back again, and I would like to emphasize on leadership. We do not have things in abundance. We are now on this international thing of believing more in exporting than feeding our own locally. We have quite a lot that we are taking out then actually, and we're taking out quality and leaving junk behind.
It's funny that
either you want to eat a straight cucumber. You don't take a cucumber that it's a cucumber, it's grown naturally. It can be skewed. You're allowed to be led by the Lani wives. The biggest thing that we are confused about is Bodaki. We are just busy following where Lanis go. Where Lanis go is where we are following. A white lady over there, she wants her banana that way and what, she sets the trend. Now you also a Woolworths person, a what person, you won't buy at ShopRite Checkers. If you buy at ShopRite Checkers, you won't want to carry that because you want to live a Lani way. We need to go back to basics. That's what's most important. Be able to buy from whoever, wherever, and so. But now we are going there and we keep on chasing and going there, and the demand becomes there. The higher the demand, the higher the price.
Yeah.
We are creating the challenges. Food prices are not that expensive if you go Kasi, Soweto and stuff like that. You pick up your spinach, bunch of spinach for 4 rand, 3 rand, but you want to go here because you want to be seen, status. That's one thing that's killing us. You're speaking about high food prices because you don't want to venture out and come to the farms and buy direct from the farmer, which would actually help
And
a lot.
you're right, because I went to the Val, I think 2 weeks ago, and I went to some farm and I was shocked at the prices.
Exactly.
I couldn't believe it. And there were long queues. It was Saturday afternoon, around 5.
Yeah.
And there were long queues. I was shocked. People were driving from Sebokeng, Sharpeville, going to that farm just to go buy those things. I was shocked. And you also have that place where you sell.
Very soon you'll be coming to our agro-processing
Yes.
plant, where we'll be actually doing all sorts of agro-processing, from your meat to your vegetable to everything. Where what you are picking up here in Midrand for 20 rand, you'll be able to pick up there for half the price. So it's such where we find the failure of the very same leadership or government, the inability to resourcing farmers to have such. We have a very good model that we've been working on of aggregating, putting everything in one basket and this one basket taken out. Allow farmers to farm, farmers bring to one central place and everything goes out from there. Just like your city deep. That's what the type of thing that we are putting, but much more advanced in the West End. That's,
Are you assisted by government there?
Well, not necessarily assisted by government, actually been having lots of headache from the very government in terms of compliance related, bribes needed, all, it's just a mess out there, a serious mess. So those are the type of challenges. Yes, we'd approached DFIs for funding and come across the different stumbling blocks in terms of getting things done, and it's a challenge, what I can say.
Because listening to you, when you started, I was excited. I'm talking to a president of an association or an organization that deals with farmers. But listening to the challenges that you're talking about, I'm sitting here thinking,
Scary,
yeah.
Scary. A young person out there.
How are we going to get out of this?
We'll get out of it. Believe you me. I'm very happy with the type of GNU type of things happening and whatnot. It's time to wake up. If the line has come back, it will be about merit. Not about comrade. Nothing is happening.
So you love the GNU?
I wish it could actually even be diluted more. To be honest with you, I wish it could even be diluted more.
What's good about GNU?
I won't say there's anything good about it. However, it's a wake-up.
What's exciting about GNU?
It's a wake-up call.
What's exciting about the wake-up call?
That it's no more a choir. It's more like the very same open politics type of thing. Not when that one says that everybody just in agreement. So right now, at least that one says and that one opposes. And then this is this is the way to go. Those are very important type of things that we should actually take cognizance of.
So you feel like now with the GNU, things would be easily accessible based on merit. Is that what you're saying? Because you said
merit, yes. And it's keeping fellow comrades on their toes. Because now it's a different, like you were speaking about Gayton. He's going to actually, or he's proving performance. And this one becomes under pressure because they've always been relaxed and pulling their feet all over the show. So they don't want to be beaten. They want to show that they can outsmart those. And there's a bit of competition within the leadership right now. That's why I wish it could have actually diluted more. It's unfortunate that the president, in his wisdom or whatever the case is, he decided to make the circle bigger to accommodate than actually cutting more of so-called comrades. Let them feel and have an understanding on the challenges that the masses are facing on the ground.
So you don't believe in like 2 or 3 parties, the more the merrier for you? but you're also saying...
I think you...
Yeah, I'm a bit confused.
Yeah. I'm saying it's unfortunate that he came to a dead end and he had to realize that, you know what, the only way to get this working, I'll have to make the circle bigger so that I can accommodate comrades. And what did he do? He expanded his cabinet. It's bigger than before.
Oh, okay, I hear what you're saying, yes.
But instead, he would have just cut all these others that are comrades. But now he's more like in fear that, you know what, they're going to clap me at conference or they're going to do what. It's more, he's more on an ANC verge than a country verge, you know. And questions that I always ask fellow comrades, ANC or country? Where do you fall? If I've got to ask you, you're a fellow comrade, what comes first to you, your country or your organization? If I've got to, and I hope you answer.
You remember the country is citizens, and citizens are your family, relatives and everybody. So the country would always have to come first.
Thank you. Just ask that to the fellow comrades that are ministers and all that. I bet you they will say ANC first because they're ticketed.
How sure are you? Is it because you've been part of them?
No, not how sure I am.
Were you like that?
No.
Because you might be talking from experience. I don't know. You tell me.
I'm not partisan. Right now, I'm not partisan at all.
I know.
I want what works for South Africa.
Who did you vote for?
When?
Who did you vote for?
When? The last elections?
Yes.
To be honest with you, I didn't vote.
Because I remember you said that you didn't vote.
I did not vote. I did not wait. I didn't have time.
But that's being irresponsible.
In what sense?
Ronnie, you are an irresponsible leader. You have to vote.
Okay, in what sense?
You have to vote.
Who said?
You cannot just let go. And then you just sit there and you just blame people.
Okay, I don't sit and blame. I've been there. I voted. The elections, before these elections, I split my vote between the African National Congress and then the Economic Freedom Fighters. The elections before this time around.
I remember you used to sing praises of Julius.
No, Julius is a leader. Julius is a leader, irrespective of how he's viewed, but he's a leader. He's very smart, he's a leader. He leads.
So who are you voting for next year?
Next year. And it's local government elections.
Yeah.
Still assessing. Maybe I'll vote, maybe not vote again. Maybe not. But
I would be against you not voting. It's irresponsible. I don't care what you say.
Okay. You know,
remember, I'm the only person in that group that can stand up and say, Ronnie.
I don't believe you in one sense. I don't believe in being indoctrinated. You're indoctrinated. Who said democracy was the thing that you need to vote?
Why are you then celebrating GNU?
I'm saying to you, I'm not celebrating, but I'm saying, since it's democracy, the GNU, for me, I find it something that works, that could even do better. However, I'm saying to you, why would you say that one needs to vote? It's irresponsible.
Would you say that to your kids that they shouldn't vote?
Most definitely. I would tell them.
Don't lie, Ronnie.
I'm telling you the honest.
When you are strict on your kids, I mean, I know.
Very, but
yes,
it
so
doesn't mean...
You wouldn't say they shouldn't vote. Why would you say they shouldn't vote?
Vote for who?
It's up to them.
Okay, if they want to vote, they can vote. I can't, they're grown-ups now. The twins are grown-ups now. Cecilia's almost also, I think, she's also a vote. Yeah, she is. She'll be voting.
On weekends, you used to take them to the farm.
No, definitely.
Do you still do that?
No.
Are they interested?
I was
because you remember you used to post about your kids going to farming.
Funny enough, I was with them now, the twins in Cape Town, and they are so, anti-ANC because they asked me, Daddy, are you, you came to us, I hope you're not going to this ANC rally, birthday things. I said, girls, I'm out of that type of things. It's our time and all. So they don't want to hear, or even the youngsters, I'm definite, they wouldn't want to hear anything ANC related if I've got to speak about those type of things. It's all about who is progressive, who is speaking to them. That's what right now. Who's speaking to these youngsters over here? Right now, what are we encouraging them? What are we teaching them? What is coming? Are we are we so short-sighted or long-sighted? Right now, most youngsters, my twin daughters, I've encouraged them to actually be looking into environmental law. Right now we're speaking about green energy. We're speaking about changes of climate. We're speaking about all those type of things. But
Hence, I say don't discourage people from voting, because that's how you change the narrative. You change the narrative with that vote.
Yeah, but we need to also come up with something that works for Africa, something that works for South Africa. And who said this is my question to you. Democracy. It's an invention by somebody that believes that democracy is the best system. Right?
What would you advise the world should do?
The world?
Yeah.
No.
Or South Africa again?
Let's look. I always believe it.
If you don't believe in the democracy of casting a vote.
Right now, what I would wish for is a dictator. This country needs a dictator.
Who would you appoint as your dictator?
I don't have to. Power is taken. It's not given. Right now, this is not power.
So a coup would suit you?
I lived in a country where coups happened almost every other time, which was Lesotho. Whilst we are sitting like this, next minute you listen on the radio that, you know what, Cyril is no more president. A soldier general has taken over. And it's 6 to 6. 6 o'clock indoors, 6 o'clock outdoors in the morning. Other than that, it's shapa shapa.
But at some point you said people shouldn't just follow the norm. But now you're talking dictatorship.
But Kafir, come on, listen.
Who would you choose as your dictator then?
Why would I choose?
What
if I become the dictator?
Oh, no wonder you said...
So I'm saying, what if I become the dictator? But South Africa right now needs its morals back. There's too much, there's just way too much that has gone haywire.
How will that help the country? How will that help us?
You know, a dictator that can just come in maybe for 10 years to just put the country back online. Law and order, enforcement of things to happen. Right now, even our kids, they hardly even have fear of the Almighty. They hardly have fear of their parents. You speak to them, they say, huh? And that time you're a father. You call them and say, yes. You can't even know anymore who's who in the zoo. Parents are so scared of their kids today. What is that? Moral fiber is gone.
Out of the presidents South Africa has had in your lifetime.
In my lifetime?
Yeah, in your lifetime.
Maybe I'll say...
Or somebody that you read about.
Or you want to talk about under democracy?
Yeah, or in your lifetime.
Okay.
Who would you say comes close to that dream of yours?
Right now, we're speaking about under democracy and under apartheid. Or under...
Either or.
Under...
Who would you say comes close to that dream of yours?
Okay. Under Thabo Mbeki, there was quite some, a shift of, you don't just speak freely, willy-nilly about this. I love my freedom and all, but it needs to be nipped in the bud. You need to understand where you're going. You don't just... So today one can speak openly and freely because it's a free world, it's a free country. We're doing as we please, I need somebody to say, hey...
Were you in Limpopo 2007?
When all started going...
That's why I'm asking, were you in Limpopo 2007?
Yeah, for that conference.
Yeah.
That changed the whole narrative.
I'm not going to go there. I was just asking.
Yeah.
I just wanted to...
Yeah.
Okay.
But we need decisive leadership. Former President Jacob Zuma was very decisive. Whether we like him, we don't like him, but he was decisive. And in many aspects, he may have, it's just unfortunate that he chose the wrong horses. But if he had chosen local horses, that was the best that could have happened for South Africa in terms of economic development. I'd put it in that way. And, we've seen, it's unfortunate that the current president we have, I feel or I see him just as a lame duck. It's unfortunate. And, we will get there at some point in time, but I think we need to first think,
How do you get to a point where you look at a president and just say, they're a lame duck?
He's a human being like me, right? So, if a man is unable to actually stand his ground on a number of things, and
like what? Things like what?
He can. We've got a minister that is implicated in some shenanigans. The inability to fire. rather just, shuffle around the same place. What does that say about you? There's so many other things. You have an opportunity to say, I'm a wealthy, rich man as a president. I don't need any of this. Let me be decisive and take decisions about this country to move this country forward. Instead, you can't please everybody. Even yourself, you can't please everybody. You need to, set the record straight and get things done. Right now, what we need is implementation. We need to get things done in this country. We need leadership, not this whole consultative type of leadership. No.
In Open Politics, the WhatsApp group, would you say you've got favorite politicians? And if so, who are they?
I won't say I've got favorite politicians. There are leaders in Open Politics that engage quite a lot and are able to give clarity where clarity is sought upon a number of things. And currently in the leadership in this country...
I'm talking about Open Politics. Yeah, because I've seen you attack a person like Jimmy Manyu, for example, but he'll always respond and try and clarify things. Yes. So hence I'm trying to find out who are the people that are making that group cook for you.
I'll say to you, you should actually withdraw, comrade. It's Muswanele Mani. I'll speak.
Oh, apologies.
I hope and I trust that he does forgive you for that.
Ish.
I was calling him fighter, now I'm calling him spear, because it's with the MK party. He clarifies things, and he's
You guys swear at him, you say everything, he's always respectful.
Yeah, that's maturity. I think he's a very, very mature person, and I will not critique him for actually jumping from one party to another party something doesn't make sense to him. He moves. Something doesn't make sense, he moves. And I respect him for that. Unlike just being a person that is just, one-dimensional. We got so many one-dimensional people, even things don't work, but they're still sticking to something.
So would you say he falls into that list of your not favorite, but people that you appreciate being in the platform?
I appreciate very much him being in the group.
Who else?
Ministers that are able to give clarity on issues. You'll speak about Minister Aaron Motsoaledi, Mamuluku Kubai, Minister Stella Ndabeni, although for me she's very weak, extremely weak. I think she's bitten on what she can chew. If I were her, I would ask the president, please relieve me.
But the fact is you like her.
She's my comrade. We served together in the youth league.
Mentioning the ones that are your favorite.
We've got also a number of them in the Patriotic Alliance. You'll have your Kenny Kunene that would also participate and give his views on certain things as and when. And then we would have, Mayor Tulima Donsela, who would be able to also give, I don't know if she falls under political...
Yeah, I'm just saying your favorite people in the group. I know I'm not one of them, so hence I'm free to ask such questions. Because I talk a lot of rubbish just like you, but yeah.
People. When I was bored, you just want to bring up soccer. But understandably, and I always talk to you about the one thing that,
we have the CAF president in that group. You have Patrice Motsepe. He's representing us in football. And you expect me not to post about football.
And what contributions does he have other than once in a Blue Moon CAF-related things, where we want so much from him so that we can understand really this wealth? Is it his?
So he's none of your favorites?
No. Is it his wealth or is it just a pawn of something? I think the guy also, I like the guy. He knows me, understands me. He schooled with one of my uncles at Elwyn North, but wish he could just be more of a person that realizes the need for him to engage.
But Tate Motsepe is presidential.
Presidential, my foot. So is he not a human being? No, just asking, is he not a human being? Does he?
And would you say Mom Helen Zille? Mom Helen Zille?
I like Helen Zille. And I don't understand what is she being fought for. Why are you...
Because she responds.
Yeah, she responds, but what are you fighting Helen
And sometimes she writes it in person.
Yes. I like Helen Zille. I won't lie. I've managed to listen to her interviews and all that. She's a straightforward, she's a leader. What I can say, Helen Zille is a leader.
What made Mbalula and Julius leave the group?
I don't even want to talk about, people that want to just be hero worshipped. Juju had never been on the group, if my memory serves me right. But Mbalula had been. But those are people that want to be praised all the time, praised. They don't want to be criticized. They just want everything to just, okay, hey, comrade, when how sharp you are doing well. No. And that is not how things should be. We need to engage.
People like Panyas have been there.
Until we have a leader, maybe a benevolent dictator, or until we have a dictator where things are just nipped in the bud to saying no free speech, no whatnot, toe the line.
People like Panyaza, Lebogang have been there for a very long time, over 10 years, and you always fight with them. Why are they not leaving? What do you think is the reason?
Open Politics is a school. They are learning a lot, and they try to implement in their departments. So you find yourself out of there and you're unable to know exactly what the people are thinking, how people are actually viewing your issues, and So MEC Lebogang, he engages. I don't know what happens, but he's okay there because there's, I have the privilege of seeing who's reading. And you'll be surprised. Even people.
We all read.
Everyone reads. There's one guy that I would wish that could contribute more or engage more. I would call him Dr. Paulo Jordan, and I'll stick to that. And, it's so silly that we've got so many VCs, chancellors of universities, that could just call him and just give him that honorary doctrine, just so that Dr. Paulo could be. But that is being done.
But we have Makriza there.
Who's that? My queen. Who's that, Makriza?
Oh, I'm scared.
Gloria.
No.
Gloria. No, speak about her freely. What I like about her is that she's an open book. She's managed to show us that she's human, whereby we used to regard her as this person that is, like pompous,
No, Gloria is one of the best.
I actually love her.
Because she responds. You attack her, she responds.
Definitely. And humbly, humbly. And I'll say I have a lot of respect for her. She actually keeps us moving. And I wish all these others could actually learn from her and get, South Africa needs to get talking. We need to talk. We need to engage. And your next show here, and this is an open politics platform, I would like to say. Next week, another OPN needs to be sitting in this chair and engaging. The week after, we've got all that. We need to start.
Oh, guys, this deserves a big round of applause.
Thank you. We need to get talking. And I'll make certain that OPNs come and get this. And Chico needs to come here and you must engage him.
Yeah.
And you have your issues. You must come sit here and tell us about what he went to America for, dollars. Did he take them? Did he not take them? What is going on and what? No, these are your competitors, but we need to talk. We need to put things on the table.
Will you ever change, Ronnie?
Who?
You.
Change in what?
Become something else. You're humble in Ghana. In fact, you are humble. But
humble.
Yeah, you're just...
I'm very humble. Honestly. Open politics consists of everyone.
Talking about humility, family life, I know that's one topic that you never want to engage on, but I'm sure there's a little bit that you just want to say, more especially to your family or something.
I love my family very much. I love my kids very much. More than they can ever know. I look forward, maybe, now getting into the other side of the half century to probably walk the aisle, which...
We're not getting married. Yeah,
I think maybe
the scoop. Hey, Open Politics is going to be shocked. You're about to get married.
I think maybe one should actually take that route, just to govern, to just be governed a little bit, power nyana to be taken away from you or whatever the case can be. So maybe, I don't know. But God knows best. Probably, I'll see. But I'd like to find myself probably just saying I'm anchored now, and that's it. I appreciate the mothers of my kids. I love them to bits. They've taught me a lot in life. And I trust and believe that we'll forever have that, humble relation. things happen. This is life. Challenges are there with every one of us. We all come out of the other side scarred, So family life is something that's important in life. And one just needs to find God more than anything to understand family life. Over and above everything. That's what I do.
Wow. Do you read?
Read?
Yeah.
You'll be surprised.
Which book would you recommend that I go read?
The Bible.
Wow.
It's got a lot of teachings. It's got quite a lot of teachings about life. I'd recommend that. Other than that, you'll just be reading people's lives and whatnot, and admiration of people's lives.
Which is something that's surprising about you. You'll talk dictatorship and you'll still talk about God and you'll talk about church. You sometimes confuse me.
They always say confuse the enemy.
And then which politician would you like to dine with?
What a question. Which politician would like?
Yeah, dine and just sit and just chat like we are chatting.
Out of South Africa?
No.
South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Politician?
In fact, let's do here and one outside.
I think I've got access to any one of them. I wouldn't like to dine with them. I think I can go to their houses and just dine with them and have our business.
Yeah, but there's that one that you would find special. Have you been to Nkandla Konje?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ubaba.
Yeah.
Our Baba is a very...
So you did go dine with Ubaba?
Yeah.
Okay.
Offhand right now, a politician that I'd like to dine with, to be honest with you, probably Helen Zille.
I thought as much.
Probably Helen Zille.
Somehow I saw that coming.
No, probably Helen Zille. And we speak openly and freely. Yes.
Yeah, because there's something, there are learnings. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are learning. I always see the engagements. There's a lot of learnings that are coming out of there. There's some strange wisdom there.
Not strange. Real wisdom.
Yeah.
Real wisdom is there.
I've noticed that.
No, real wisdom
Yes.
is there.
But you know why I say strange? Because you guys always try and find a way of ignoring it, and a few days later you would be saying the very same things that she was saying.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that is the thing, the irony of this whole thing. And, you know, we need to, you know, if I've got to put it to you, Arthur, you know what? We need to get out of this whole race-related issues and focus on our country to build our country. Our kids are growing up with lannies. Our kids don't see anything wrong with lannies. And there is actually nothing wrong with lannies. We differ as a people. But there's nothing wrong. We need to learn from each other. There's a lot we need to actually be taken from lannies. And mind you, so many of these wealthy black people work with lannies. They are partners with lannies in a big way. And then they'll want to be telling you that, you know what, white people this, white people that, Helen this, Helen what. You'll be surprised Helen is partners with many of them in business behind the scenes. You'll be surprised. And, you know, it's misleading. We are misleading our people forever bringing up the race issue. We are 30 years, a 30-year-old. It's a grown-up. It's a grown-up. We can't want to say we're 30, we're still a young democracy. There's nothing like that. We are grown. We need to get things happening. We need to allow people...
Karabo, you're scared to clap your hand. You're going why?
I just believe that 30 years old is old, guys. You can't be with 30.
Exactly. You can't be, you know.
So for those that can't hear, he's saying 30 years, you can't be, you know,
still
saying
crying and taking it, yeah. Baby, we're a young democracy. We're not a young democracy. We're not at all. You know, the biggest thing that is killing us, our youth are in need of jobs. This grand business needs to chop. You know, with what President Donald Trump has now instituted for Africa, I'm so happy. We are always cap in hand, wanting. South Africa, why do we want to feel as if sanctions are going to kill us? Why can't we sanction? We say, okay, we're not sending our things anymore to the US. We can as well sanction. So this thing of feeling as if another being is actually better, an American is better than you are South African, what? You must hero worship or kneel down. No, we need to believe in We lack confidence.
Yeah, because, you know, now that you mentioned that, I was arguing with somebody yesterday and they were saying, hey, this thing is bad. It means we won't be exporting food. And I said, but wouldn't that food then feed us? And maybe it might even be cheaper.
What's the population of the US? 200 and something million or 300 million, somewhere around there. What's the population of the world? 7 billion or 7 point something billion. So the US population and Nigeria's population, I think they're almost the same. So why are we not crying about Nigeria's population is no more going to be taking things from us or whatever the case can be? We want to pride ourselves that the US is our biggest trading partner. Why can we not put up 2 fingers for the United States and say, go jump? Why can we not do that? I mean, what's wrong with us? Are we lesser beings? And then we want to feel when we are told this, that no, when a white person wants to say, no, you're inferior, now you want to fight that thing. There's something I always say that I think the way we are wired as black people is that we maybe need to take whites as the latest model of a human being. Maybe we are an old model. We don't have a computer box. Because we are forever just looking at whites as they are superior. You talk about whites, you're so scared of whites. All the time you're just so fierce of white people. Instead of actually seeing a land. You know, when I moved to the West Rand, it was very shocking. I felt like I'm in the 80s, the way the darkies there are. They're so, hey, I take them to a place, maybe it's a pub, and what, there's just white people there. They don't even want to go there to the bar. And what. Then I say, what's wrong with these people?
Hey, but the bars are scary, that's right. Eh?
Scary of what?
Eish.
It's your inferiority complex issues. That's all. You need to believe in yourself and trust in yourself. These youngsters today, see them. You know, when I looked at my daughters, my twin daughters, there they are busy dating Lanis and Charos and whatnot. And I said, look at the kids today. You know, last week or week before, I was in Pretoria, Men or something like that. I saw this that boy with a Lani chick. I said, go boy. This is how maybe the best thing that could have happened here in South Africa is if we were deliberate as the ANC and, resource a lot of black guys to go for white chicks so that they just coloreds all over. Then we cut with this whole race issue. Then it just bushes all over. Then the whole race issue would just die. Blacks dying out, whites dying out. It just bushes all over the show.
Who's your favorite politician at the moment?
My favorite politician?
Yeah.
That guy that dances like this. They're in the US.
Okay, and locally?
Locally.
If he's a politician.
Yeah, if he is a politician. Locally, my favorite politician, I don't think I've got any favorite politician locally. To be honest, I don't think I've got a favorite politician. I don't think I've got. But I would like to wish whatever it is that my fellow comrade, current fighter, Julius Malema, to actually get out of whatever mud it is that he's in. And he's a leader that I would actually say I wouldn't like to see him fade away. He's very necessary in the South African body politics or politics. He's one of the people that I say, Juju, we need him. It's unfortunate that he's targeted right now by those, I don't know if you guys believe in karma. What goes around always comes around. So it's that type of a thing. But for young people, I say Juju, he would be the right dictator for this country. The one that can, the only thing I don't like him about is open border issue and whatnot. That one I strongly don't believe in. I believe in charity begins at home. Let's get our act together as South Africans. It's time. We never had an opportunity as a country after achieving our democracy to sit alone and talk. Jiggy jiggy, we got our democracy. Jiggy jiggy, everybody just around us. We hardly even had our own time to say, how do we skin them and get things done? Jiggy jiggy, nala, napa. Everyone just coming. When do we have our opportunity to talk? So upon such type of things, I think South Africa is a great country, very wealthy country. We need to explore our country very much. We need to travel within South Africa. There's so much to see in this country. Before starting to thinking of going to Mauritius or going where, how much do you know South Africa? Do you know all these 9 provinces? Those are very important things that we should encourage our kids and go with them and have them realize, Minister Patricia de Lille, she's also a very good minister. And I liked Mema Moluko Kubai when she was there, what she used to market a lot when she was at tourism, showing different B&Bs where you could go to and all that. Maybe me, Patricia, because of age-wise, challenged to doing that type of a thing, or not much of a social media person, or whatever the case can be. But one of the biggest other things that we should be focusing on is tourism, which can actually help this country go forward. And to you, Gaffer, I would say, you know what? Let's believe in our country. Be patriotic. Love South Africa. This is the only country we have. And another thing that I also would like to change is I don't believe in South Africa belongs to all who live in it. That's rubbish. South Africa belongs to South Africans. That needs to be changed. What does that mean? South Africa belongs to all who live in it. So, umuntu uyangena manje, 2 minutes is living here for a week, also entitled. No. We need to change a number of things of this country. This country, you know, look at the United Kingdom, such a small little thing, the powerhouse it is. Look how big we are. Look at Ukraine. What's happening? Everything you speak about, whether it's aerospace and what, Ukraine. South Africa had such before. We had the best of the best under Daniel, you know, your Roy Falk, your Roy Cut, your whatnot. We've been producers. Let's bring that moral back. Let these youngsters know about production instead of just feeding them all the time, you know, things that are, you know, nor here nor there. We need to build our young people.
Wow.
From your end, you're building. You know, I like Owame when I see how she's performing, how she's doing her things. She's falling into daddy's footsteps. That's the way to go. We need to teach our children skill. Waking up early, knowing how to do things and what. Stop fearing our kids. These are our kids. We need to get them in line. So this is about a number of things that I could say I could contribute to this and say to you, rest assured, Open Politics members will come here. You will manage to interview them. They will contribute positively to where we can go to as a country. They are there. They are open to engagements. And do not limit this to the size of people's pockets. No. It's got nothing to do with it. It's got to do with what we can contribute. What do we understand? Because the more you engage with that person in that informal settlement, that person in that township, that person in a suburb, treat equally and have an understanding of where it is. Because we don't understand so many things. We think we are just there. You know, it's time to get off our high horses and start engaging with everybody. That's very crucial and important.
Wow, guys. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
So you talking about, maybe I'm talking a lot of rubbish, but...
No, but it's, I know you to be talking rubbish, but it's their first time seeing you. And trust me, you're going to be the topic after this. Because we've got, I mean, I'm thinking of you, Karabo, when I listen to him. You know, I'm thinking of him, you know, and the same footsteps. You are now also in a branch doing the same thing. So, like, same footsteps. You talk a lot of rubbish, you know. You like the same people. You are in a different party, but you like other people from... It's just amazing. That's why I'm saying after a year, it's just a party.
Mind you, and careful about that. You know, there's a saying, there's so many sayings in English that many true words were said in a jest.
But if you did too much, explain that.
What you would regard me as speaking rubbish or him speaking rubbish, there are a lot of things that you are missing because whenever he opens his mouth, you are regarding as rubbish. No, Sekicho.
Okay.
If you get what I'm saying.
We love him.
So be mindful that you want to just be listening to intellectuality and taking that as the... But you find all that, it's just hot air. It's just theory. Unpractical.
That's Ronnie now.
Unpractical.
Yeah.
No? And I would like to say sorry to MBA people out there. Studying is good, but you go looking at a business plan put up by an MBA, non-practical. There's a lot of hot air. Sorry, I'm not critiquing MBA people and stuff like that. I had 2 business plans before.
Why do you leave politics though? Because you are just too smart, man.
What do you mean leave politics? No, I'm not a politician.
You were.
But I'll take charge of this country. And it doesn't take a politician to take. You know, if this country could be run by a soldier or by a farmer, those are doers. Not all these intellectuals that are LLBs and what, hot air. A lot of hot air. Wara wara, nyere nyere, wara wara, nyere nyere. Nothing implementable on the ground. Nothing, zero, zilch. Document after document, you go to the offices, it's piles and piles of documents. Nothing gets implemented. Zero. We need more practical people that get things done. That's what we need. Be a doer. Not wara wara. Not all wara, but nothing, there's nothing to show at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that I'm able to, but I'd learned a lot in the agricultural space in terms of getting things done, which is very important, extremely important. So with the young people out there, you need to learn to getting things done. Knowing, you know, there's a lot of laziness today, potato couches today, whatnot. When you have your phone, how much work, you know, are you getting from your phone? I was so impressed with my daughters now that they're English teachers. I just wondered, what are they talking about? They're busy teaching and they're earning quite well, shockingly. About $16 per hour.
So they're doing it internationally, or they're teaching?
Online, teaching Brazilians, you know, basic English. My name is, what is and what not. How many of our young people, when they're holding their cell phones, it's something constructive that they're doing? Or just a whole lot of, you know, funny things and whatnot. I was impressed with both of them. Then I realized, I'm sending money for what here? These people, one has got 14 students, the other's got 12 students. And they're 3 times a week. You know, they're making I was impressed. You know, they're at UCT as much as I wanted them to go to Stellenbosch. For me, if I was the only shareholder, I would have taken them to Stellenbosch. And it's not necessarily for them to have a degree, but connections. Today, degrees and all that. I have a lot of people with degrees that are asking me to get them into a job. I get a degree now.
And that's one thing you're good at. You know, you're always hooking up people. Yeah. Guys, it's been wonderful having you, Ronnie. You know, I've learned a lot out of what Ronnie has been saying, and even me always saying rubbish. Now I know it's not rubbish, it's controversial. It's going beyond, you know, the norm and challenging issues and finding out and also trying to solve problems by telling people facts as they are, because most of us are always scared to speak our minds. And, you know, now I know it's not called rubbish, but it's speaking your mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.